one of the things that we're doing at the moment, because we've bought this house and we're doing a few works, we put a heating system in and put a new water supply in and that sort of thing. We're having it rewired just at the moment. One of the other things is that the garden has got some amazing specimens in it, but it was very, very overgrown. So we're clearing that out, and at the moment I'm just in the process of having removed the wild rose from this tree, which is really rather lovely now that it's got opened up, because it's got some light to it. Generally around the garden we're just taking down a load of stuff that's growing as massively overgrown, and it's just not what we're looking for. So I'll have a bit of a chat to you while I'm doing this work here. To make it easier to get onto the bonfire really, because we're going to have to burn all this. I mean it's you know, it's just one of those jobs that you just have to do, but this is a little bit tedious. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was the fact that, you know, not only have we had a lot of rubbish left by the previous owner around the house and in the garden. There's gardening rubbish, of course, like this sort of thing to do, but this is fine. You know, you expect that when you move into a house. You've got to make changes. But the things that you don't kind of think about normally when you buy a house is what is the emotional garbage that's been left behind, you know. So every time people have an argument, there's an emotional kind of energy that's left in the space where that argument has occurred. Now you know that because when you go round to a friend's house, or you walk into a room where your parents perhaps used to argue, you can feel it. You can cut the atmosphere with a knife, as they say. And the same thing happens to a house where, you know, the space picks up the atmosphere of the people that lived there before created. So it's nothing new, it's nothing woo-woo, it's nothing amazing, it's just the way it is. Now what is interesting is that as you work with the subtle, what we call the subtle realms, so as you work with energy of intent to create the life that you want to lead, which you can do, you know, again this is nothing new, this is all Esther Hicks type stuff, law of attraction type stuff, The Secret, if you like, from way back, that, you know, everybody now is kind of really getting the idea of, getting used to. It's the intentional living, this is a phrase. So as you get into all that sort of energy about finding your own power as a creative being, which that's what that is, then you learn also that actually this detrimental stuff that's knocking around can be changed. You can adjust, you can use your same intent to actually heal a space. So, and clear all of that hanging around energy, that detrimental energy. So obviously that's the sort of thing that I did when we moved in here. I mean, before we moved in I cleared the space, you know, remotely doing the geomancy, and the house is really, really good. It's lovely. What I'm getting at is that when you move into a space, and you can do this every day, you're at a desk at your office, you can just clear the space with intention. You can make that space far more palatable, far more easy place to work, make it a far easier place to work in than perhaps it might be. And you just do it with intention. Tune into the management upstairs, tune into your higher self, as it were, in that sort of meditative mindfulness sort of state, and ask. And be aware of what you feel when you're asking it, because that will tell you whether it's worked or not. It's rather like dowsing. Dowsing is experiential, and this is exactly the same way. Intentional living, exactly the same, clearing out the crap.